Okay, so new setup. I am laying on the cloud couch talking into my microphone, which I've never really been able to utilize the long cord that it has before. So that's exciting. I'm I'm doing this because I've been editing the podcast I recorded for you a couple days ago about luck, and I was so tired, so serious, and I didn't even really go there. I didn't even really have the courage to be my really lucky self. So, we're going to talk about different things today, and I'm going to lay on the couch because I was just asking myself if I had not a care in the world, if I was independently wealthy, like lottery winner, what would I do with my days? Because that is what I want to do all the time, right? I do have a really lucky, privileged life in that I don't have to go to a day job. So why the hell would I not do that? And so here we are. Here's what we're doing. And I realized that the reason I got so serious on the luck episode is because I have soaked up so much junk. And it's definitely coming to the surface this year. It's knocking at the door, wanting to be let out, and so I feel like that's been pretty. I guess it's really fucked with my head this year. So I'm gonna continue just letting it go and lightening up because I want to be the me again, like the beginner me. I want to be it keeps getting better and better and better and better because it does, but feeling that without feeling guilt and feeling that freely and wonderfully and enthusiastically, and because that is really the truth. And I know that we do create our own realities, and I know that no matter how you slice it, we're all here for our own reasons. We're all here for our own journeys, and to judge another's journey is pointless. So here I am, unsoaking, desponging, and being me. And I was also thinking of the work that I am proposing to the world right now, the institute that I created. How do I stop that from being too serious? And really, here we go. I'm doing it right now. My intention is not for that place to be where we buckle down and get serious and look at hard things. It's really a place for support and fun and our enlightenment for our own personal lives. I came to know that I was neurodivergent. I came to know all these labels, neurodivergent, all the queers that I am, all of that. I came to know because I prioritized happiness. And being happy led me to understanding more about myself. And understanding more about myself led me to more self acceptance. All the labels that I am have really just led me to community and acceptance and self love and accommodation and an easier time living as I am. I made a comment this morning to a friend of mine about like soaking up and luxuriating in the space that I have. And that can be tricky sometimes because if I didn't have this space, I could easily be burnt out. So it's not even like our world is so interesting in how it views space and luxury and success and abundance, and that it almost vilifies it if you have it, but yet that's what everybody wants. So, and frankly, it's what everyone deserves. It's an interest, I don't know, this is not desponging, so we're going to desponge, we're going to get rid of all of that judgment, and we're just going to focus on the fact that everyone deserves to be happy, and I really feel like we all have the capacity for it. I'm reading a book right now called Permission to be Disliked, The Permission to be Disliked, or something like that. It's over there, so I can't get it. But it's based on Adlerian psychology. So wherever you want to look, you can find things that will back up what you want to think, right? So I could look at angry people, I could look at dysfunction, I could look at all kinds of things to tell me that I need to be relatable, I need to come down to earth, I need to blah, blah, blah. And frankly, that doesn't feel very good. Or I could look at any number of things to see that focusing on what makes you happy and your excitement and rest and recovery and, you know, having a positive outlook, envisioning life as you want it, living in the present moment, meditating, all of those things can bring you more of what you do want. And so we get to choose. And that's what Intimate Aliens started the year off with telling us, that we get to choose. And I think I'm finally at the point where, like, feeling out both options quite acutely, I think I know which one I want. I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be laying on my couch talking to you about. I do live in the real world. I have lived many ways over the course of my life and this year. And let me tell you, there's an easy way. There is an easier way, at least. I'm savoring the things that I enjoy. If I want to grow something, I focus on it, right? If I want to grow my sense of ease and abundance and love and joy and space and peace, then I need to savor that and milk that. And I can do that, definitely. And you can do that, right? It just takes a bit of a shift in focus. It's free, it's accessible, and it helps a lot in making that feeling state easier and easier, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go live in my own world again, because I never really left my own world. I just changed my world to be, I guess, more in sync with what a bunch of other people are doing. But no one's ever doing the same exact thing, and no one's ever thinking the same exact way. And we're here to own our own lives and to live our own lives and to be our own people. And that is way more fun than trying to fit in. Oh, yeah. We have a yawn of recognition, courtesy of Carrie Roldan. Luck. I was talking about luck. I talked about luck for half an hour, and I'm scrapping the video because it wasn't very good. So Seneca says that, and you've probably heard this, luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. And if we were going to dissect luck from like a third dimensional point of view, that's exactly right. You put in the time, you put in the hours, you do the thing that you love or want to advance, and then an opportunity can come and you can take it, and that appears to be luck. Just like how, I don't know if you remember the Amy Schumer boom, but it was massive. Amy Schumer all of a sudden was everywhere. And people had never heard of her before for the majority, and people thought she was like an overnight success, but she'd been a stand-up touring for 10 years. There's a perfect example of when preparation meets opportunity. She had an opportunity, I don't know really from where, I don't know if she got her show first or her comedy just exploded, she got a Netflix special. I'm not sure where it started, but boy did it start. And that just happens all the time. But she was doing the things she wanted to do, and so when opportunity came, it felt like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm ready for that. Let's go. I just met Ellen Latham, the founder and creator of Orange Theory, the workout, which I go to. And it's $1 billion business, which is so cool. And she was just trying to make a living. She was teaching Pilates out of her house, and then it grew to like she could rent a little studio, and then she created her Ellen's Ultimate Workout and had another bigger studio for that. People loved it, and one of her students said that her husband, their husband, worked in franchises and that Ellen should talk to him. And of course, so preparation, already doing it, meets opportunity of a networking opportunity with a franchisor. And at first, she didn't believe in herself. And so she said, no, I could never do that. That's crazy. And then she came to it and took the meeting, and the rest is history. And she was 54. There are so many stories of this. And of course, these stories are of the people that actually made it. There are plenty of people writing novels, in their spare time who never get to this position, who are, doing all number of things that they enjoy and never really make it. But if you're doing what you love, then opportunity will come if it's what you want. Not everybody wants to be a CEO of a billion-dollar company. That's a completely different job than being a trainer, right? Not everyone wants to have all their business out there in the world and to be famous, because that's completely different from just doing what you love and enjoying the process. I'm not running 3 times a week, 4 times a week to become a professional athlete. I just do it because I like it. I'm not, and yes, I'm seeking opportunity, and opportunity is coming to me. I got to volunteer for a race, and I got a free entry into a race next year, which is great. So I'll go do a race, but I'm not looking for anything bigger in that capacity. So it's not like our behavior is only motivated by future success or bigger, right? If we're process-oriented people, if we're just doing what we love in the moment, we don't even have to worry about what's next. But we can be assured that if we're enjoying ourselves now, opportunity to enjoy ourselves further will come. And what I really love, see, now we're getting back there. When we're doing that, when we're in the moment, when we're enjoying ourselves, we don't have to micromanage anything. We don't have to plot a career. We don't have to know what's next. We don't have to use strategy that we've thought about to ensure something happens in the future. Our higher selves are working on all of that. It's all planned out. It's all because when we are doing what we love, we're a vibrational match to what we love. So bigger and better versions of what we love are already on the way to us. Already on the way. This happens to me all the time with houses. I love the house that we're in right now. This is the dream house that I envisioned when I was living in Phoenix. This is incredible. The colors are what I would have wanted. The size is what I would have wanted. The layout is what I would have wanted. The yard is what I would have wanted. In fact, I was looking for a house with like fruit trees and an area I could have for, gardens and stuff like that. So when this house came to me, it was already set. Eric had already bought it. It was already like a done thing. I just got to move in, and it was so cool. But there are, of course, as you grow, we've been here now for I think 7 years. There are things that you want to change. Like we want to change the floors upstairs. We want to finish the basement. And it's just a little difficult to do when you're living in your house and there's cats and there's different reasons. Like we only have bathrooms on the 2nd floor. There's no 1st floor like powder room, guest bathroom. So doing the floors on the 2nd floor where only bathrooms are would kind of suck. For like a week we wouldn't be able to really have access to a bathroom, which is a problem. That being said, we've talked about how we could navigate that, how we could manage that, because it's obviously possible. People do it all the time. Or we could buy a different house and just move into a house that already solves the problems and has the upgrades that we would like to experience. I am the master of letting a house that is perfection find me. I just went to a little pool party at a friend's house, and next door to her is a house that's for sale that literally has everything that we're looking for. There's no carpet. It has a finished basement with like a separate entrance that's like an in-law suite. We've been looking when we have been looking for houses, we've been looking for like something with a guest house or an in-law suite. So anyway, a whole checklist, totally there in our price range. Even has solar, has fruit trees, has I don't know how many times bigger the yard is, but that house has a half an acre and ours is 5,000 square feet. So you do the math, not me. And it's just effortless. These houses find me. I wasn't looking. It just happened to be that the next door neighbor's house was for sale when I went to visit my friend. And that's how easy it can be, right? I didn't have to look for the house that I'm in right now. I moved in. I didn't have to look for the house that would fit all of our needs perfectly. It was just for sale next to my friend's house. And that is luck. That is ease. That is alignment. That is manifesting. And can we just talk about how you're seeing me in my natural state right now if you're watching this, because I just had to remove the bottom half of my blanket because I'm getting hot, and I am hot and cold all the time. I think it's because of my age and being in perimenopause, but my temperature regulation has been non-existent. So anyway, there we go. So yeah, manifesting is very mainstream now. I hear it used all the time. It's kind of like when intuition became mainstream. I think it's pretty cool that people all over the place are talking about manifesting. I don't think every one of us would agree on what it means or how it works, and that's totally fine. I think the same is true for intuition. But I love that the world is opening up. So at the same time as like we could view that the world is falling off a fucking cliff, which I would agree in a sense, we can also look at more people are aware that there's more at play. There is an unseen element to the world, and if we just harness that more, which is what I'm, coming back to, never left, but you know what I mean. I was looking at things I shouldn't be looking at if I'm focusing on my happiness. Knowing that we don't need to see things in order to believe in them is wonderful if we keep our own truth as the focus, right? Like blind faith can get us into trouble if we're not feeling resonance. Yesterday, I watched, I think the channel is Insider. I watched something about the cult Nixium and this woman who was the big whistleblower for it. And she kept talking about how in the advancement of getting deeper into this cult, everybody would tell her that it's supposed to feel uncomfortable. Growth only happens when you're uncomfortable, and so if you're feeling uncomfortable about, making this next move, investing this money, or doing this thing, then that's a good sign. And that is where we go wrong, right? Yes, growth can feel uncomfortable, but there should always be that inner resonance of joy, of excitement, of happiness, of rightness, of truth. And she even said, like, she wasn't listening to her intuition. Her intuition was telling her no. And her mind was, she was using her mind to overturn that instinct. With religion, a lot of times I think people are talked out of trusting themselves instead of encouraged to trust themselves. And so then they don't know how to make decisions, which I'm the total opposite of that. So like because I kept listening to, a lot of cults, they like run the cover of being self-help and self-development, and I'm like, oh no, like I don't want any of my stuff to feel culty. But I would never tell you what your truth is. You need to figure out your truth by developing the skill of discernment of understanding, how does your intuition tell you yes, how does it tell you no? Do the things that feel good, do only what you love. And yeah, like I do things often that are my truth that are uncomfortable, but it's because the bigger drive is joy, excitement, curiosity. And I think that's important to remember. And that's also how you sync up with luck. Let's take a moment of silence to feel our truth. So, how do you know it's your truth? There are lots of ways, right? But one of the fun ways that Intimate Alien brought to light is that your truth feels good and your truth goes in. What's not the truth sort of bounces off of you. So if you say to yourself, like, my name is Rachel, but if I say to myself and then feel for what happens, my name is Harold. I don't feel anything in my body. There's no tingly feeling, there's no warmth in my chest when I say my name is Harold, or my name is Charles, or my name is Cynthia. But if I say my name is Rachel, there's a bodily sensation of warmth and expansion, effervescence. So try that yourself. Try a couple names out and then try your own name. And I'm yawning for you because you know your truth. And that's obviously a really simple example, but you could try something else. Like, I went to Charter Oak State College. That feels right. I went to Harvard. That doesn't feel right. Whatever it is, you can always test it out. There's lots of other ways to do it, but that's one way that I feel like is pretty easy and accessible. So live your truth, do what is right for you, do what you love doing, find a way to desponge anything that is bringing you down. And I mean, if you're going to take my example today, lighten up. Lighten up and let life be easier. Let yourself be guided. Do the things that make you happy, and all will be well. You will be brought to the things that will make you even happier. So, yay. Okay. If you like this more casual style, where I'm laying on the couch talking into my really long corded microphone, then give this a like, comment, rate us, and I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Bye.